How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. Thank you for listening. It's Friday, TGIF. I can't believe it's been a week already since we did this, but indeed it has. So that means for the next hour, we're going to do a little Ask Frank Anything. Whatever you have questions about, please be so good as to dial 1-646-720-0635. That's 1-646-720-0635. And we will have a prize for whomever comes up with the best question this hour. We would ask that you try not to ask a question that has been asked before and try to go out of your way to make it creative, make it a little out of the box, and we'll reward you handsomely. Speaking of rewards, I want to thank our listening audience because I got a look at the December ratings in New York yesterday, and not only was our show once again number one by a significant margin, by the way, not by a little, by a significant margin, but our numbers actually went up in December from November. The reason that's significant is because the conventional wisdom is that, all right, November, all of the talk stations get a little bit of a boost because of all the people tuning in for political talk. Well, it's an interesting thing because in December, the numbers did go down a little bit for all the talk stations, but our show's numbers still went up. Now, I believe that part of the reason for that is that we do a lot of subjects other than politics, so we kind of politics-proof our show so that whatever your interests are, there's something that we talk about that interests you. So we had the biggest number in the New York area in the month of December than we've had in a very long time. I don't know that I'm able to give specifics, but I can't remember the last time we popped with a number this large. So I mention this not only because I'm quite proud of the work that our team has done here, but because I'm grateful first to John and Margot Katsimatidis for the opportunity to do this show in the first place. They believed in me when nobody else did. Nobody had ever given me an opportunity to do a daily show of my own. Chad Lopez, our president, for kind of getting our show focused and helping with things like social media and promotion in a way that I might have neglected in all candor. And then lastly, and most important, you, because without you listening to this program, I would just be talking to myself. So thank you for all of you supporting this program. It means a great deal. All right, let me hear your questions. 646-720-0635.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
This episode is brought to you by Loom by Atlassian. Are you feeling stuck at work? Get your team unstuck with Loom video messaging and move work forward. Use Loom to simultaneously record both your screen and yourself to share a quick update, provide feedback, train a colleague, and everything in between. Plus, add Loom AI to your meetings for instant written notes and recordings. Try Loom today at Loom.com. That's LOOM.com.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. There's a lot to love about New Jersey. Their beautiful shorelines, their lush forests, and resilient, diverse communities. But there's one reputation they've struggled to shake: political corruption. And with the recent indictment of George Norcross, the so-called political boss of South Jersey, it's clear they still have a long way to go. The allegations against Norcross read like an episode of The Sopranos. A powerful man leveraging his influence to control political appointments, bully opponents, and steer public resources into private hands. If true, it's not just a scandal, it's a symptom of a deeper problem with how New Jersey's politics operate, starting with their ballots. Yael Brumberg, writing for the New Jersey Globe, laid out the issue brilliantly. For decades, New Jersey's county line system on primary ballots has been the cornerstone of machine politics. Unlike the rest of the country, where candidates are listed under the office they're seeking, their ballots grouped party-endorsed candidates together in a straight line, from president to town council. This wasn't just a design quirk, it was a blatant advantage for candidates handpicked by party bosses. Brumberg shared an alarming quote from a former assembly leader who once joked, quote, "I can get Mickey Mouse elected if he was on the line." It's funny until you realize it's true. And first of all, I always bristle at those Mickey Mouse comparisons because Mickey Mouse is actually a pretty popular figure. I think he could win a lot of elections. That's how someone like George Norcross amassed such incredible power. He didn't just influence elections, he controlled them, ensuring that candidates loyal to him got the coveted county line placement. And once they were in office, they weren't beholden to voters, they were beholden to him. This system has been a disaster for New Jersey. It has made corruption easier, incentives worse, and political bosses like Norcross even more powerful. But here's the good news. They've finally started to break free from it. Last year, a groundbreaking lawsuit forced the state to abandon the county line ballot design. It was a huge step forward, but the fight isn't over. State lawmakers are now considering a bill to reform primary ballots, but there are concerns that it could actually reinstate some of the very advantages the lawsuit eliminated. Let's be clear. We don't need half measures or watered-down reforms. We need a truly neutral ballot design, one that doesn't favor party insiders or allow visual cues to sway voters. Other states do it, and there's no reason New Jersey can't do it too. The Norcross indictment should serve as a wake-up call. Corrupt ballots don't just tilt elections, they undermine democracy.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
That moment when you realize your skincare is actually working. That's Rodan & Fields, the #1 female dermatologist-founded skincare brand in the U.S. Designed by 2 dermatologists who don't just know women's skin, they know how to formulate for it. Rodan & Fields, love what you see. Tap the banner or visit rodanandfields.com/Spotify to get your exclusive welcome offer.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
As Lina Khan steps down as chair of the Federal Trade Commission, she leaves behind a legacy that's nothing short of transformative. In her tenure, she was the star of the Biden administration, in my opinion. Bold, innovative, and unafraid to take on big tech and corporate monopolies. Quite frankly, I wish Donald Trump had kept her on board. And one of the things that first appealed to me about guys like J.D. Vance and Matt Gaetz is they were some of the most prominent, what they call conservatives that liked Lina Khan. Her ability to bridge progressive ideals with pragmatic consumer protection made her a standout leader in Washington. Now, in one of her final acts as chair of the Federal Trade Commission, Khan has written a letter urging New York to outlaw unfair and abusive business practices. It's not just a good idea, it's a necessary one. Her letter, sent to Governor Hochul and state legislative leaders, emphasizes the importance of equipping state enforcers with the authority to protect consumers. She knows better than anyone that federal oversight can ebb and flow with political tides. And let's face it, consumer protections are too vital to leave at the mercy of Washington's whims. New York already has laws against deceptive practices, but they're limited. Hochul's previous attempt to include a measure against unfair business practices in the state budget fell through, and the Consumer and Small Business Protection Act, another bill with similar goals, has yet to pass. Khan is urging the state to act now, warning that delay could leave consumers vulnerable, especially in rapidly evolving sectors like technology. And she's right. Look at Rite Aid's use of facial recognition technology, which the FTC found to be both unfair and harmful, or consider the dangers children face online. Khan highlighted how unfairness authority helped the FTC hold companies accountable for pushing harmful apps to kids. There are real problems that affect real people every day. If New York adopts Khan's recommendations, it would give the state the kind of flexibility the FTC has used for decades to protect consumers. It would empower citizens and small businesses to take legal action when corporations engage in unfair or abusive practices. But here's the key. It's not just about protecting the little guy. It's about setting a nationwide example. New York has a chance to lead, as it often does, by showing how strong consumer protections can coexist with a thriving economy. Lina Khan's letter is more than a parting note. It's a roadmap for the future. She may no longer be in office, but her influence continues to resonate. For those of us who value fairness and accountability in business, this is our chance to honor her legacy. Governor Hochul, the ball is in your court. Let's hope you run with it.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
You've probably heard the recent report celebrating the supposed success of speed cameras in New York City. According to the data, speeding and road tragedies have decreased since these cameras were first installed a decade ago. Sounds great on paper, doesn't it? But let me tell you why this report is a joke. These speed cameras aren't about safety. They're about revenue. If the goals were truly to stop speeding, why wouldn't the Department of Transportation pair these cameras with something simple and effective, like speed bumps? It's no secret that speed bumps slow drivers down far more effectively than a camera ever could. But here's the kicker. DOT actually prohibits speed bumps within 1,000 feet of a speed camera. What does that tell you? It's not about keeping you safe. It's about keeping the city coffers full. And let's not forget the other trick they've pulled, lowering speed limits. Under Sammy's Law, drivers slow down when they approach a speed camera, so the city decided to catch them another way. They lowered the speed limits in many areas, ensuring even cautious drivers are more likely to rack up fines. That's not safety. That's just another tax. The problem with speed cameras is that they don't prevent reckless driving. They don't catch drunk drivers or deter people from running red lights. They don't enforce the rules when it comes to distracted drivers glued to their phones. A speed camera is a passive, one-size-fits-all approach to a complex problem that demands active enforcement. What would actually improve safety on our streets? More cops. More cops and fewer cameras. Officers can assess the situation in real time, catching dangerous drivers and providing the kind of deterrent you can't get from a machine. But instead of investing in police enforcement, the city doubled down on a system that punishes good drivers for minor infractions while failing to address the real causes of dangerous driving. So let's call this report what it really is: a justification for keeping a cash grab in place. Speed cameras don't make our streets safer. They just make our wallets lighter. If safety were the priority, we'd see speed bumps, better street design, and more cops out there enforcing the rules. Until then, let's not pretend these cameras are anything more than automated tax collectors. The reason they're pushing this report now is because the speed camera program is up for renewal because it was only a temporary thing. In Albany, the state legislature and the governor is going to have to approve it again. And I think they're hoping that this report will encourage them to do so. It probably will. I hope they don't.
Beam me up.
To be continued.